Hello students, I hope you all are fit and fine and doing good at home. Now today we are going to start our third chapter and the topic is primary auxiliaries and models. Now we will going to see primary auxiliaries first and then we'll move on to the models. Now let's see what is the meaning of primary auxiliaries. Now primary auxiliaries means those verbs which help the main verbs. Yes, auxiliaries are known as helping verbs. Everybody knows about the main verbs. But here primary auxiliaries are your primary helping verbs. Now there are three forms of primary auxiliaries. First, be, second, have, and third, do. Now these three are your base form. These three are your base form. Let's see other forms of these base forms. Now first is be. Be is your base form and other forms of be is, are, am, was, were and been. Now over here is, am, are is your first form of verb be. Was, were second form and been is your third form. Next base form is have. First is your has, have. Second is your had and third is your had. Now there is a difference between the second form and the third form. In the second form we do not use any main verb because this had will going to play the role of main verb. Like he had a car. Now over here had is your main verb. Third form of this, he had studied last night. So over here had and studied. Studied is your main verb and had is your helping verb. Now third is do. Do is another third base form and other forms of do. Do, does, first form, did, second form and done, third form. Now let's move on to the first base form, that is be. Now is, am, are. First we have to see that these forms are going to be used for which subject. So we have to see the subject also. Now is, am, are. Is. So we are going to use he, she, it. With am, only I. Are, we, they, you. So he is, she is, it is. I am, you are, we are, they are. Now these are used for present. Next, was, were. He was, she was, it was, I was. And were, you were, we were, they were. Been, now been is used for perfect. Yes, been is used for perfect tenses and tenses we'll do afterwards. So been is used for tenses and perfect tenses and for passive voice. Now let's move on to have. Has and have. First we are going to see has. With he, she, it, we are going to use has. For I, we, you, they, we use have. Had. For all the subjects. Third base form do. Do, does. Does we use for he, she, it. And do we use for I, you, we, they. Did we use for all these subjects. Done, same for all these subjects. Now let's see all these base forms one by one along with the sentences. But before that, we can also change these into negative as well as interrogative. So changing of these into interrogative and negative we'll see afterwards. So let us start these base forms and their forms one by one in detail. Let's see the first base form, that is be, and be has other forms also of verb, that is first form of verb, second form of verb and third form of verb of the base form be. Now these are the examples. Let's study these examples one by one. He is a good boy. Now over here we have is, and this is your main verb because we don't have any other verb. The word good is your adjective. So we don't have any other verb except is. So is over here is your main verb, not the auxiliary. Second, he is playing a piano. Now over here playing is your main verb. And helping verb is. So helping verb is your primary auxiliary. Third, I am a good boy. Over here, am is your main verb because we don't have any other main verb. So am over here plays the role of main verb. See the fourth example. I am watching television. Here, watching is your main verb. And am plays the role of primary auxiliary. Fifth, you are a naughty boy. Here, are is your main verb. Next, you are jumping on the bed. Here, jumping is your main verb and are plays the role of primary auxiliaries. So, first, third and fifth. In these sentences, is, am, are play a role of main verb. And second, fourth and sixth sentences over here playing, watching, jumping. These are your main verbs and helping verbs are is, am, are. Now next is was verb form. See the examples. I was a naughty boy. Now over here was is your main verb because same, we don't have any other main verb. Second, I was jumping on the bed. Here jumping is your main verb and was is your primary auxiliary, that is helping verb. Third, we were good in studies. Now over here word plays a role of main verb. Fourth, we were riding a bike. Here riding is correct, main verb. And your helping verb is yes, were. Fifth, he has been crying all night. Now over here we are using been. Now been is the third form. Be is your third form. So let's see. He has been crying all night. So over here been is your primary auxiliary. Why? Because it is helping. The verb crying. Crying is your main verb. Next, I have been following you. Here also been plays a role of primary auxiliary and following is your main. Now here been can also be used for passive voice. Next is your have. another base form. And we have first form, second form and third form. That is has, have, had and had. But before that we have studied about the third form of the form be, that is been, and those two examples were your perfect continuous, because we are using ing form of the verb before has been or have been. So those sentences which I told you, that is your perfect continuous, as well as been we can use for passive voice. Now let's move on to have. See the examples. He has a car. Now this has is your main verb, because we don't have any other verb in the sentence. So this has will play the role of main verb. Second, he has completed his work. Again, see the main verb, and the main verb is completed, and the primary auxiliary is your has. Now over here, have plays the main role of main verb, because we don't have any other verb. So have is your main verb. Fourth, you have given your assignment. Now over here, given is your main verb and have is your primary auxiliary. Next, he had a car. Now over here, had is your main verb. And last, he had studied English. Now over here, studied is your main verb and had plays the role of primary auxiliaries. So first, third and fifth, in these sentences has, have and had are your main verbs, and second, fourth, sixth, in this we have main verbs like completed, given, studied. And we also have our primary auxiliaries, that is helping verbs, and these are has, have and had. Now the last base form in primary auxiliary is do, and we have first, second and third form like do, does, did and done. Now all these examples are related to these forms of verbs. Let's see one by one. First, I do my homework. Now over here, do plays the role of main verb, because we don't have any other verb. Second, she does her work. Here also, does plays the role of main verb. Here, see the eighth one. I did my work. Past. So over here, did is your main verb. Now this third form, do, does, did, can be changed into negative as well as interrogative. So first we are going to see the negative sentences. I do not know him. Now over here we are using not, so that is why it is your negative. I do not know him. He doesn't agree with me. Doesn't. They didn't go to the class. Here, didn't is your primary auxiliary negative. So, do not, does not and did not. These are your primary auxiliaries negative of do, does, did. Next is your question. Now, do, does, did can change into question, into interrogative also. Examples, did he finish his homework? So, over here, did is your primary auxiliary because finish is your main. Next, do you have a car? Now, do is your primary auxiliary and have is your main verb over here. Does she go to school and all? So like this we can change do, does into negative as well as interrogative. Now last is done, and the word done we use for perfect tenses. Like, I have done my work, you have done your work, they have done their work, she had done her work, we had done our work. So, done is used for perfect. I hope this much is clear to everyone. Now in our next class, in our next session, we will continue the same chapter and we will going to take modals. By the time, take care and be safe. Thank you.